If Luigi was a terrorist who was even remotely good at his fucking job, he would have shot the lady standing next to the CEO. Because the motive of a terrorist is to commit acts of violence against everyday people in hopes of striking fear into the civilian population. That nigga walked down on a billionaire in broad daylight and I did not feel a drop of fear in my heart. So seeing the entire US government convene at this idea that he is a terrorist is fucking crazy. But honestly, what did we expect from a government that could not spot a terrorist if it was standing in their fucking face shaking their hand? Terrorism is not a metric of who is wrong or right or who is evil or good. The Black Panthers were considered terrorists. The Ku Klux Klan has never been considered terrorists. Nelson Mandela was considered a terrorist. George Bush was never considered a terrorist. But George Bush has killed significantly more innocent civilians than Nelson Mandela. Luigi killed one man and he's now considered a terrorist, but healthcare CEOs kill thousands of people a year with their for-profit healthcare system and they are never considered terrorists. They're not even considered murderers. They're actually considered good businessmen. According to the Biden administration, I am considered a terrorist sympathizer because I want to see the end of a fucking genocide. And if we really want to get into it, the entire American capitalist system is fucking terrorist. In the richest country on the fucking planet, they're letting people starve to fucking death on the streets because the fear of being that person will keep you clocking into your job.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of ATP Live. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and ATP Live is one of few shows that are on the ATP network. You can catch the ATP network on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And I have one shameless plug. Support Trina, our comrade. She's going through trying to get out of a domestic abuse situation. It's been very hard. She's trying to, as I know, trying to get an apartment. So if you got a few dollars to spare, the Cash App right on the screen right there at Brandstein 4. So thank you guys so much for watching me. Yesterday go watch it, the Tonight Show with Andre. Sorry for the dark light, guys. I'm gonna fix that. It's just the camera lighting is camera setting is kind of slow, so kind of low, so excuse that. But I'm gonna fix it in the next clip, hopefully. So yeah, man, I had a few people telling me that I shouldn't have necessarily done it, and all that stuff. But my thing is, I'm just gonna say this, then I'm gonna get to the bigger stories, because I'm over this bitch ass motherfucker. Like, she's not worth my time. She was never my time. She's never worth my time to begin with. To be honest with you, the first time that she started this bullshit, started blocking you and talking about you behind your back, was a while ago, and I kept that to myself because I was saying, like, maybe I know she has issues and stuff like that, and I think she's one of those people that is kind of jealous hearted too. And then on top of that, I guess she's going through a whole lot of shit in her life, and I guess she just, she wants things to go her way with the little time she do have on this earth. Nobody knows when they're gonna leave this earth, and she wants to do whatever she want to do, and if you tell her, no, that's not how this works, or we in a team, she don't like it. So that's who she is. I'm not going to say that bitch's name. She know the fuck she touched. She know the fuck I'm talking about. And then on top of that, she said she gonna put lawyers on me because I made those videos yesterday. So you gonna sue me for using free speech? I wasn't defaming you. I wasn't slandering you. So yeah, good luck finding a lawyer, and also too, you in medical debt. So good luck finding a lawyer. Like, you're gonna have to pay the lawyer some money. Even these days, if you go talk to a lawyer, you gotta pay them a fee up front. So yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that, stupid motherfucker. Like, just good luck with that. I don't know, man. Like, she like, if you are friends with this woman, I have some advice for you. Like, y'all need to tell her she needs some help. Like, she, like, people are already going through enough shit as it is. Like, you really had to talk about Tired Peasant like that, call her a stupid bitch, and then saying she deserved whatever happened to her. To be honest with you, that's kind of slander. But okay. That's the slander defamation rules are weird in this country. So it's kind of hard to know what is what, but yeah, man. Like, and also to y'all, I do not regret anything I said yesterday. I'm not going to take it back. So, because she did this time and time again. And even Ty Peasant, she can vouch for me. Like, we gave this woman chance after chance. She left on her own, and she thought because I put her podcast on the network, on this network, ATP network, she thought that she was automatically back on the fucking thing. Like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it here. If you was a part of the network, you will be in the network group chat. So that is a telltale sign that you're not back on the network. And then on top of that too, why you calling Tired Peasant all kinds of names and shit, you dumb fucker? She gave me the permission to put your podcast on that motherfucker. Like, see, that's what I'm saying about people. Like, they people are reactive but not proactive. Like, but it is what it is. I wish her a good fucking life. I don't wish no harm on her, even though, she wished bad things on me. So, God bless you, stupid bitch. All right, guys, I'm done getting that off my chest. All right, guys, on to the next story. Okay, guys, I got the lighting fixed like I promised, so I'm back. This is from the Gauntlet, Julia Doubleday. This is her outlet. She does amazing work on COVID and, origin of COVID and, other stuff related to COVID. It says Biden's USDA let H5N1 spread. Now bird flu is a loaded gun in Trump's hands. Yep. Joe Biden, he didn't do shit with COVID. So why would you expect him to do things with the bird flu? I'm just asking, ask yourself that. Like both of these parties, man, when it comes to the working people's safety, health, they don't give a fuck. Like, hell, we don't even have universal health care in this country. So why would I expect Joe Biden to do something about the bird flu? Like, in the pandemic, which eventually he said that, I'm gonna let the states handle it. That's what he said. So, it says the Biden administration never had any plan to control the H5N1 outbreak on dairy farms. Now, it's spreading widely in a country ill-equipped to understand and control airborne disease. Which you think, like, other countries know how to control it. It's still spreading, but they can control it better. Like, you don't hear about these little outbreaks of COVID in other countries like that. So, yeah. And also, I need to stop doing my face like that. That's just weird. I need to just be normal. But, it says H5N1 need not to be circulating in dairy cows. It could and should have been eliminated months ago. It might still be with aggressive action. Unfortunately, the Biden administration hasn't made any serious attempt to halt the virus, nor does it look likely to take the kind of bold action needed now. But what will hardly surprise anyone who has paid attention to the unprecedented illness normalization and public health vilification that occurred since 2020. So, yeah, it's like, COVID out there, it's uncontrollable. My friend, actually, she got sick from the, she had a bad bout of COVID. And, yeah, it's like, I still do that face. It's like, nobody gives a fucking shit. Like, she could have died. Like, she could have died. She had COVID for a month. She was dealing with COVID for a month. So, yeah, like even, the Democrats during the 2020 election said, oh, yeah, we're going to fight COVID. We're going to defeat COVID. Then 4 years later, people are still getting sick for COVID. Hell, I thought I had COVID the other day. But apparently it was just sinuses, heavy sinuses. So, let me continue reading. It says, outbreaks of H5N1 in agricultural animals are concerning. However, there's also something governments across the globe have been successfully handling with aggression elimination tactics for decades. But this is 2024. Over the last 4 years, we watched as disease minimizers took the reins of public health, prioritizing corporate profits and day-to-day business activities over human lives. Yep. Go back to work. Fuck your health. Go back to work. We're gonna cut off unemployment benefits. We're gonna cut off food stamp expansion, food stamp increase. We'll cut every social safety net program that keep people at home. Oh yeah, the stimulus checks, we'll just give you 3 measly ass little stimulus checks, and Trump put his name on it for clout, and and Biden says he'll give you $2,000 stimulus checks, but 1,400 could technically, no, Trump gave you 600, like, see, shit like that. So let's see, it says, well, now we are watching our metaphorical and literal chickens come home to roost after their laissez-faire strategies to move us close to another global pandemic. Yeah, I have a feeling that this thing will become, I think to become human-to-human contact eventually. But so far we are spared. Each step of the way, strong, sensible public health interventions could have halted H5N1 in its tracks and ensured it never crossed into the human population. Instead, businesses' interests were prioritized. Yep. See, they think we're disposable. Fuck protection of the workers by keeping them at home initially during COVID. Or in this bird flu too. No, let's just keep everything open. Let people do what they want. Or let the states handle it. Like if you're in Louisiana, let COVID spread everywhere, but you're in another state. Some restrictions, but see, yeah. As far as we're aware, H5N1 hasn't yet achieved human-to-human transmission, but allowing humans to interact with the virus daily, something public health officials worldwide has spent decades working to avoid. We made such a scenario increasingly inevitable. As news of severe human case broke in Louisiana last week, my state, California declared a state of emergency with 61 human cases reported in the U.S. so far. The infections are a trickle of that consistently threatening to become a flood. For now, they're being reined in by a fragile biological limitation, not a sturdy policy firewall. So basically what she's saying is what's keeping it from becoming a fucking pandemic is a protein or something like that that's not transmittable to humans, so humans can't transmit it to each other like what COVID did. Like basically we just petri dishes walking around prior to March 2020. Like that's how it got bad. Anyway, it says we are being protected not by the FDA, CDC, and USDA, but by the genetic structure of the virus itself, which currently doesn't transmit between human hosts. H5N1 could achieve the ability to do so with a single mutation. So just like how COVID mutates, it gets more. They claim that when COVID mutates into another form, it's more transmittable, but it's not as deadly. It's not deadly. It don't get worse. But to me, it feel like it's getting deadly too. So there's a lot of stuff that these people aren't telling us because they want to keep open Starbucks and Walmart. So yeah, it's not a government's body preventing the next pandemic or quarantine, a testing requirement, or a mandatory PPP for foreign workers. It's just a single protein. Like I said, yeah, some kind of protein. It's not causing it to mutate. Which is it our saving grace? I hope so. H5N1 was first detected in U.S. dairy cows back in March of this year. Although it had been silently spreading for some time prior, as weeks turned into months, it became clear that the virus will not be eliminated or even controlled in that animal population. Instead, public health officials are embracing the same failed model that has left many humanity marinating in year-round COVID soup. The let it rip model. So basically, let it spread. Then herd immunity, basically, I think. If I'm wrong, guys, let me know. Half-ass quarantines, don't ask, don't tell testing policies, minimizing messaging about how most cows recover. Stop me if any of this sounds familiar. Yeah, history always repeats itself. Vanity Fair thoroughly reported on the USDA's decision to prioritize industry profits rather than a pursue an elimination strategy. As with COVID, let it rip in cows has only amplified the problem, spreading the virus far and wide. Early claims that the outbreak would simply burn itself out have been proven exactly wrong. From a few herds in the spring, the outbreak has spread to a whopping 880 herds in 16 states and counting. Now, I'm a big 880 hertz. Like, yeah, that's not good, obviously. But 16 states, like, if this continues, it's gonna triple that number. KFF Health News quoted UK bird flu researcher Tom Peacock as saying the US knows the risk but hasn't done anything to slow it down, referring to our ongoing refusal to stop the spread. Echoing Peacock's assessment, virologist Jeffrey Rossman of the University of Kent told Newsweek, I don't think they are doing a good job at containing the outbreak. And put simply, they are not containing the outbreak. Yeah, the problem is that if to contain the outbreak, most likely you have to stop getting more herd to these big corporate, agricultural companies. So that stops their profit because you tried to contain it, so you don't want any more animals to get the fucking virus. See what I'm saying? That's what's going on here, obviously, right? So yeah, like it's all about profit, baby. Our government is bought by billionaires and corporations. Like, I mean, this ain't nothing new to me, but you probably watching this new yourself, so you probably didn't know this. We continue. The advantages of the let it rip model are obvious. Zero disruptions to business as usual. Zero angry, um, um, interrupting capitalists raging about they want to ignore the virus and pretend it wasn't happening. Zero lost profits. Zero panic. Zero problems. The disadvantage being that what we are moving ever closer to human bird flu pandemic because those with the scientific know-how are completely disempowered to stop it, while those with the power to stop it either don't understand the science or too simply cowardly act. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is becoming more and more of a fucking problem. My thing is, see, this is not like COVID. Like COVID, we found out that gain of function research, which Donald Trump continued to, which Donald Trump started, but that's how COVID started. When you making viruses. Even I hate Barack Obama. Even he was right to don't do that. You know what I mean? But it got continued to do it. Like with this, they know how to stop it, but the problem is that a lot of these folks work for the USDA or they work for another corporation, and they tell them, just let it spread on, and hopefully herd immunity kicks in, and you won't, and hopefully it won't get human-to-human contact. Like, so basically, just watch and pray at this point. Yeah. What's that gonna do? Like, we have the know-how to stop it, but watch and pray. You just can't make this shit up. Oh, it says, let's start with the basics. H5N1, a highly pathogenic avian influenza, was first identified in Hong Kong back in '97 from Bob Wallace's book, Big Farms Make Big Flu. This must be an excerpt from it. Let me see. In other words, a great disruption in business as usual, but a necessary one to ensure the virus was eliminated. Although these measures may sound extreme and admittedly macabre, as is in industrial agriculture generally, in short-term disruption of coaling was ultimately easier and cheaper than the long-term disruption of a global pandemic. This is the conventional wisdom undergirding the typical public health and safety decision to cull agricultural animals with a potentially pandemic disease. Man, this is crazy. I'm gonna read this. I'm not gonna read all of it. This is a long article, guys. I recommend you read it to yourself. I need to put this in the link in the description below. You can read it yourself. The rest of it, I'm gonna read this, and I'm gonna get to the next story due to time. H5N1 has been cropping up across the world sporadically in the decades since. Sometimes in wild animal populations, usually, but not always birds. And other times in agricultural operations, but typically, as is established practice, these animals are culled because, as gruesome as lost culls can be, they are nothing compared to the potential cost, but not economically, but in animal and human lives alike, of letting a virus like H5N1 spread out of control. It is simply too dangerous to let a highly pathogenic, highly deadly virus remain in such proximity to humanity. So, yeah, like farmers are at risk. My thing is this: This is why I want Julia Doubleday on, the Good Faith Show, because my thing is like, we gonna talk about the bird flu, obviously, but why, you think, farmers, they are the reason why we have food on our table each night. But my thing is that if you know that's a deadly virus that can kill your animals and kill you, then why they won't stop it? Apparently corporations don't care about farmers. Hey, just like they don't care about the working individual. They don't care about nobody but themselves. They care about profit. This is what this really boils down to. Care about profit. That's all they care about. They don't care about you. The human. They look at you as a fucking cog. You disposable. They look at us like we disposable material. Like, you throw it out, fuck it, you get another one, But one thing is good about us as people, we are finally standing up, we are finally waking up. I wish we wake up a little bit more faster, but yeah, man, it's sad. So basically, Biden ain't doing shit about H5N1, and Trump ain't gonna do shit. So yeah, y'all, that's the first story. Okay, guys, on to the next one. Okay, guys, so the next story I got here is Cenk. He's at this kind of festival called Americafest. Is on, I guess his channel is One American News Network, I guess, I don't know. And apparently he's talking, to people on the right, Republicans, I'm gonna say this, it's a lot of wrongs that Cenk did in this video. A lot of things that he could have did that were more rational, that make him seem at least more rational. But man, I'm on the bandwagon to think that this guy is turning to America. Yep. What more evidence do you need? There's no problem with you going to these talking to these people. But if you just going to not criticize the other party, if you criticize Democrats, you should criticize the Republicans too. See what I'm saying? You should do that. Both of them are the same. You should say, hey, both parties are the same. They fuck you over. No, you need to become, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You need to become socialist, whatever the fuck, socialist, communist, whatever name you want to use. It don't matter. You should become that, not be upholding to these fucking parties. But y'all gonna see what I'm talking about with Cenk. I'm finna play it. So yeah, here we go.
So Cenk, welcome.
Thank you for that warm welcome. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
So Cenk, the spirit of inviting you is that there's some confusion of these divides of right versus left, populist versus corporatist. I guess a good opening would be, as a man in the progressive movement, as one of the leaders of the progressive movement, what do you make of this last year, the state of the Democrat Party, and kind of American politics from the more progressive left perspective?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm proud to represent the left flank of the populist movement, and I think we need both flanks, so I'm happy to have this conversation. In terms of what has gone wrong in the Democratic Party, it's the same thing that went wrong in the Republican Party, but I do have to give you guys credit for a revolution well done.
This guy said revolution. What revolution, fool? Oh God, these people are MAGA. They probably. He said that they anti-establishment, but they don't realize that the guy that they love right now, Donald Trump, is the establishment. You should say that, but no, he doesn't say that. Let it continue.
And what I mean by that is not a revolution against the Democratic Party or the left or the country, but a revolution against the establishment. So I knew you guys.
He should have said, oh my bad. He should have said Donald Trump is the establishment. That's what you say. Donald Trump is the establishment. That's what you say, but okay.
Guys were for real in fighting against the establishment when I started going on right-wing shows and I would say something negative about Mitch McConnell. And when I did that in the past, what I would get back is, oh, no, Mitch McConnell's great. Pelosi's terrible, but Mitch McConnell's great.
Let's do that here. What do you guys think of Mitch McConnell?
All right. Yes, I love that. So look, for my left-wing friends that are watching out there, they just booed Mitch McConnell.
I believe if Mitch McConnell was all in on Trump, they would not boot him. But okay.
That's a great thing, okay? And let's do one more. What do you guys think about Dick Cheney?
Again, if Dick Cheney was all on Trump's nutsack, they would not boot her because she's the the resistance to Trump and shit like that. You know, that crowd, they hate her guts. Like see, Cenk think these people are anti-establishment. They think Trump is a populist, but like Trump did not govern like a populist, but yeah.
My left-wing friends out there, we have been waiting for the right-wing populists to...
What's up with him saying left-wing friends? Like, motherfucker ain't my friend. Like, you the same motherfucker said we should vote for Kamala Harris and vote for Joe Biden. Like, instead of you saying that we need to build our own party or build up a third party or, move further to the left. No. No, you want to stay within the fucking concepts of, whatever grift Cenk does, like I said, whatever grift he does, that's what he at. As Savvy said, waves. Like,
boo Mitch McConnell and Dick Cheney our whole lives. Take the win. Take the win. Now, what we need to do in the Democratic Party is we need to do likewise. We need to have a revolt against the Joe Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, and the Nancy Pelosi's. And the Hillary Clintons, and now all of a sudden the Dick Cheneys. What are they doing on our side? Are you guys nuts? Right?
I have to interject. When all of a sudden Kamala Harris is doing the Liz Cheney thing, I said, does she want to lose? I mean...
What's amazing is I said the same thing. Look, Dick Cheney polls at 13%. What lunatic thought it was a good idea to wrap yourself around Dick Cheney? I mean, when we started the Young Turks 22 years ago, longest running show in internet history, first ever YouTube partner with original YouTubers, one of the driving forces was get Dick Cheney out of office, right? And now for Kamala Harris to come full circle and say, oh, I've got 90 corporate CEOs backing me, and I've got all these executives on my side, and I've got Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney on my side, it was so
Yeah, now, is hanging with Liz Cheney was one of the reasons why she lost? Yes. But again, Cenk, it's like these people will not be hating on Liz Cheney if she supported Trump. You think these people are, maybe they are, some of them are anti-war. It's a thing as an anti-war conservative, which is rare, but, or, as Cenk said, a populist, The crazy thing about TYT that gets me is these are the same people that say that we should not organize. I mean, we should not organize and talk to the people that he's talking to now. But look at him now. Oh boy, don't the chicken come home to roost. And one thing too, before I replay this, a lot of people is accusing Cenk of what Jimmy Dore did when he went on Tucker Carlson. Like, you criticize the Democrats, but you don't criticize the Republicans as well. Like, that's what a lot of people are saying about Jimmy Dore. But I think this is worse. Oh God, like, I think this is worse because Cenk said one thing. Cenk is a total fucking hypocrite. That's what I'm saying.
Counterproductive. It's not what the left wing stands for. It's not what the Democratic Party should be about. So the problem is the establishment. They are controlled by the donor class, and mainstream media is their marketing arm. They do not do news. They do propaganda. And one more thing. What I want you guys to recognize is that mainstream media, you think, is against you. You think they're against the right wing. But they also hate Bernie Sanders. And they also hate me. and they also hate the populists on the left. What mainstream media really loves is the establishment and the elites. They're against all of us combined. And if we dare unite on issues we agree on, they will be livid, and it'll be a beautiful day in America.
And that is correct.
That's crazy, though. This is hypocrite. This hypocrite. Same guy that said we should not talk to these people. They lost. They beyond lost. They broken. You know. And what he doing now? Oh man. See, people. The reason why people are unsubscribing from TYT is because of shit like this. They realize that this motherfucker is a grifter. Like, this is an example of grifting right here at his finest. Like, you realize that you can't grift off, you know, saying that Kamala isn't that bad, so you move to going towards the right because you know that you know you want some of those incentives that the right has. Anyway, like, so what not, Cenk? If in 2028 when you tell people to vote for a Democrat again, because that's what you gonna do, you gonna still be on the right, or you gonna be back telling people that, you know, vote blue no matter who, or, you know, lesser of two evils type of shit?
Correct. I mean, you were kicked off of some of the cable news channels for having heterodox opinions on certain issues. So let's kind of look at the last couple of years. We can go back to the Bernie Sanders thing. Explain to us, why is it that right-wing revolution was successful, and Bernie Sanders with 2 attempts actually won the primary in 2016, and he had it stolen. Again, stolen election talk can be a little controversial. They stole it from Bernie Sanders in 2016. Why was that revolution not successful?
Yeah, I think it was because Donald Trump was a celebrity and they didn't take him seriously. So they made the mistake of giving him mainstream media coverage. And so they thought, and if you remember, Bill Clinton had this brilliant idea, we'll encourage Donald Trump to run on the Republican side and it'll destroy the Republican Party. How'd that work out for you, Bill? And so I remember saying at the time, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because what I sensed was you need a non-politician to lead the revolt. So, because
a non-politician, no, you don't need no non-politician. You need the people. Like, wow, one person, you know, that's what got a little charisma, you know. I disagree with that, but
all the politicians, and right now they're having a conversation on the Democratic side about 2028, and the only people they mention are politicians. And my answer to that is hell no. Okay? Because
this guy sounded like what Cal Calisi said when he said Jon Stewart should run for president. I'm like, I mean, you realize that if Jon Stewart runs for president, on the Democratic side, he had to fall in line with the establishment. So, like Trump, see, he was a celebrity and he fell in line with the establishment. That's a good example. So Jon Stewart gonna do the same thing Donald Trump did. So yeah, like, celebrity. That's why I hate this celebrity culture we in, like, in the United States. Like, it just, these motherfuckers, you know, like, I hate it. I really do, but
politicians are used to the corruption. They grew up in the corruption. They like the corruption. They got their power through the corruption. So I don't want that. I don't need that. And so when Trump came on, they gave him coverage. And here's when look, some people think that things changed after the election. No, I've been saying this from day one. Correct. And so back in 2016, actually 2015, after I think it was the second debate, when Trump was on stage and he said, I gave all these guys money and they did exactly what I wanted. At that point, everyone on earth, certainly in establishment and mainstream media, says he has no chance of winning, none. I went on the Young Turks and I said, he's going to win the Republican primary. Okay? Because people hate corruption and they know it in their bones. Okay? Now, we will disagree on, you know, is Trump really not corrupt? Is Trump really going to do the things that he...
So how you talking in coded language? Is Trump really not corrupt? See? Oh God.
Promised. Is he really a populist? I would love to prove me wrong. I would love that, okay? And like, my God, if Trump got money out of politics, one thing we're known for is credit where credit is due, okay? I would give him all the...
But you know Trump ain't gonna do that because he's the establishment. He's not a populist. So what are we doing here? Like, see expose yourself right there. How you kissing up to to these people instead of you saying Trump is not a populist. He's corrupt. Instead of saying, I'm questioning, is he corrupt? Like, no, he's corrupt. Yeah.
Credit in the world. We're not there yet. We're not close to there yet. So when we get into the issues, hey, how about, and remember, guys, you also have donors. Beware of the donors. Don't forget that, and don't let your guard down, okay? But so on the Democratic side, we have got to elect a populist. If we don't, we're going to make the same mistake we made when they anointed Joe Biden and when they anointed Kamala Harris. To my Democratic friends, how many times are you going to lose before you realize that mainstream media and the establishment are lying to you?
And so is that energy forefront in the Democrat Party right now? And I'm not saying this facetiously. Read us into what the power brokers of the Democrat Party are saying. Are they saying we need to run more to the middle, that we need to embrace more populism? We're hearing some of the names, but what is the vibe of the people that do this for a living?
Yeah, so I can tell you definitively that the Democratic leadership and the Democratic establishment will never voluntarily go in a new direction. They will never voluntarily.
But Cenk, if you know that, then my guy, like, why are you still talking about them? Like, you think at this point they cheated Bernie twice, to be honest, they cheated him the second time too. You'll think that at this point you guys will move, like the TYT will move more further to the left, but ever since you got the Katzenberg cast, you've been right in the center, I guess, and now I guess the center ain't working. You're shifting to the right a little bit. Like, it's like telling somebody that's really like deep in alcohol to stop drinking without any like steps to make sure they don't pick up a glass of alcohol again. But they like, hey, you stop drinking, alcoholic. So yeah, man, what we doing?
Accept populism. They are built on donor money. They are of the donors, by the donors.
Republicans too, my guy. Gotta say Republicans too. Like, you can't say one without the other, man. Like, literally. Jeez.
Donors for the donors. So what I need left-wing voters to understand is that they're never going to give you what you want incrementally. Martin Luther King talked about the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Oh, if we just go a little further with Joe Biden, he'll give us another crumble and another tiny increment. No, they're going to just pick a new and improved corporate robot like Pete Buttigieg or Gavin Newsom, and they're going to come out with a new script, and they're going to say, I am now a populist, and they will wear flannel shirts, and they'll go to barbecues, and they'll pretend to eat ribs, and then they'll sneak out and go to French Laundry, right? So don't believe the corporate robots.
You can say the same thing with the Republicans too. Oh God, like, yeah.
Remember how many times they lied to you. We need to do a populist revolt and pick a populist left-winger so we could have a real contest in this country.
My thing is, like, we need to lead motherfuckers need to lead the Democratic Party. Like, the Democratic Party is not going to change their ways. They're not going to listen to you, Cenk. You said they're not going to listen to you, but then why are you giving advice like they called you and said, hey, Cenk, what can we losers, man? What can we do to win? They hate you, Cenk. Like, they hate me. Like that video said earlier, like, they think I'm a motherfucking terrorist. I'm a terrorist sympathizer because I said Israel should stop bombing Palestinian babies and women. So they're not gonna listen to you. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And then one thing that really boiled my skin is he's calling Democrats saying they love corporate money, but fails to say that Republicans love it too. Oh God.
Establishment Democrats are never going to win. We need to go populist, and the way to do that is not by negotiating with them, it's by defeating them in a primary.
Is the Democrat grassroots, are they invigorated towards that end?
Hey, we did that with Bernie Sanders in 2016? So if we do it again, Democrats would just still cheat, and they're gonna pick, like you said, a corporate robot. Like they're gonna pick a corporate robot and lose again. So yeah, they don't care, bro. Democrats will do more to fight against anybody that's to the left of them rather than win. Like Democrats don't want to win, bro. They all this finger pointing shit they doing now is just trying to sound like they're reasonable, but they don't want to win. Like Trump won, they fine. They probably do better because tax cut for them. Some of them are wealthy, so. Oh, God.
Because it seemed as if they weren't obviously thrilled about Biden or Kamala Harris, but you could say whatever you want about Bernie Sanders. I have massive worldview disagreements. He had a legitimate grassroots movement behind him of small dollar donors, of people that were working, of activists. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like that has disappeared a little bit in recent years, or at least has gone to sleep. Am I correct in that? And what would it take to awaken that sleeping giant?
Well, I think the mistake we made, if we knew that Bernie Sanders was a cook, we should have taken all that grassroots money he raised. We should have put it towards mutual aid, and we should have did community building ourselves. Because, to be honest with you, Bernie Sanders did that shit the first time. I looked over it when he dropped out and supported Hillary Clinton. Like, he didn't even fight in the damn the DNC National Convention. I'm like, you didn't even fight, but people was protesting. I remember that Bernie Sanders supporters was out there protesting. What that in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center? Yeah, I remember that shit. I seen that shit on Twitter. I wasn't even in this like I am now, but I remember that shit. And I'm like, this motherfucker, like, your own supporters are fighting harder than you. Like, what Bernie should have did at that time, which was appropriate, is he should have dropped out and say, you know what, I'm running as an independent. Fuck the Democratic Party. He got moving behind him, and he could have just took his chances. I don't think he would have won because the system is rigged beyond repair. But put up a fight. At least people that donate their last few dollars to you, Bernie, like you were asking money from poor folk, man. These ain't wealthy elite motherfuckers. Like grassroots. Raising money on the grassroots level is hard as shit as it is. Like, even me as a mutual aid organizer, like, I know I hate bringing her in this, but my friend Ty Peasant, like, I had to raise money for her because she didn't have no money to buy her kids presents, and we didn't meet our goal because, like I said, it's hard. Like, but I'm glad she's showing pictures of the stuff because people always accuse people of grifting, which is crazy. But I kind of see Bernie Sanders as a grifter now myself because I'm like, you had all this movement, all this energy, and you just abandoned it to support Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. Like, fuck you, man. I think that type of energy is dead. It'll be dead for a long time. I think we need another type of energy. I think what Luigi did, sparking something. I don't know how it will turn out. I hope it turns out good. People question Luigi and all that stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with the question stuff, but my thing is this, like, the left don't know how to win. They don't know how to win. Like, I guess we lost twice with Bernie. The squad let us down. Then, other stuff in between there. So I guess he said, hell, fuck it.
There's a couple of different branches within the Democratic Party and the left, but the two most important ones are the populist progressive left, that's Bernie Sanders, and we can debate about progressive issues and policies on another day, right? But then there's the establishment wing. So the populist wing is already there. That base that was there in 2016 and 2020 still exists. And remember, guys, and I say this to you and I say it to the left wing, Bernie won the first 3 states in 2020. He was this close to winning until Obama and Clyburn called in all the candidates.
He's right.
And said, you all have to bow to Joe Biden. And then mainstream media then said, Joe Biden is the greatest. And they started talking about how Bernie Sanders, the most successful Jewish candidate in American history, had followers who wore brown shirts and fascists and Nazis. Where have you heard that before? So whenever it's an outsider,
Bernie Bros,
all of a sudden mainstream media says fascist, even if it's a Jewish candidate, right? So they use the same tricks. And you guys have been canceled, I've been canceled. They do the same thing to both of us over and over again. So the left-wing populists are ready, but we do need some more votes from people who used to be in the establishment Democratic camp. And why were they in that camp? Because they love corruption, they love war, they love change? No, guys. They were in that camp because mainstream media lied to them. And mainstream media told them, oh, Bernie can't win. Bernie was up by 12 points on Election Day in 2016. They said, he's radical. And they called you guys radical and said you couldn't win. They call us radical and say we can't win. But they're wrong. They're lying. So what I need Democrats to understand is stop believing in Morning Joe and The View and all the garbage on TV.
Now, he's right about that. Like, stop watching that bullshit. But also, I would say stop watching shit on Fox News as well. I mean, to be honest with you, like, it's the same thing. Like, same shit. You know, Fox News, you know, more of a culture war type energy, you know, the trans people this and all that stuff, and woke ideology, and, you know, obviously, you know, MSNBC, you know, Trump's a fascist and all that stuff, like, but like, that's what I'm saying, like, see how you see rhetoric matters. Like, I could go on like Ben Shapiro's show and shit on the Democrats all day long, and not shit on Republicans. That made me look like a fucking hypocrite. So
that's a really good point about the media ecosystem. You guys are, without a doubt, the most popular, progressive, over-the-top, non-mainstream media sanctioned community. Is that fair to say?
Not no more. They losing subscribers, but okay. Hey.
Yeah, 27 million subscribers, 30 billion views. I think it's fair to say.
No, I'm not saying that sarcastic. I don't know of anyone that comes.
27 million subscribers. What?
It's close. However, do you think there's a robust alternative media ecosystem on the left that is comparable to what's built on the right? I could say confidently what we have on the right is pretty impressive. We have from podcasts.
Yeah, because on the right, there's money on the right. And that's why Dave Rubin, a former TYT member, moved to the right. And that's why Candace Owens, a former lefty, well, not lefty, a Democrat, moved to the right. Like, it's money on the right. It ain't no money on the left. If you, let's say you have an ample amount of YouTube subscribers and memberships, you might make a little change, but that's about it. Unless you get a sponsor, which that compromises you because you're bought. Like, once you bought, you're no longer independent media. So, no. I answered that question for him. Like, yeah, the right got money. Because billionaires are funding a campaign to propagandize more younger people. Because more younger people online than older people. So you can say Fox News got the older population. And then the Ben Shapiro's, the Tim Pools of the world, those motherfuckers, they got the younger people. See what I'm saying? You can kind of say same thing with RedTube, like they're like the DNC. I don't know the DNC in their pockets either. It could be like it's so much corruption, man. It just, but you know, same thing about them. Like Democratic Tool on YouTube, and you got the other people Democratic Tool online. So yeah, man.
Casting to videos. We don't rely on cable television. Who here listens to podcasts or social media for all your news? Raise your hand. I mean, every single hand goes up. So do you think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks?
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT that's in the left-wing ecosystem. So I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing. Okay, so you do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't know about the more welcoming part, but the right dude got their shit together. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and tell y'all. They got their shit together. Yeah, they work together. Yeah, they do. Like they get into disagreements, but these motherfuckers on the left, man, like even on Twitter, like for example, like Twitter is not a good example because Twitter is a cesspool. But these motherfuckers, you say something that's ultra controversial, and they'll just cancel you, man. Like they cancel my other friend, which she used to work in the soup kitchen. Like that's crazy. These motherfuckers don't do mutual aid at all. Like they call you a grifter if you promote yourself on mutual aid. Like these supposed to be left allies, but somebody said something that they didn't like, and they call this person anti-Semitic. That's the left in a nutshell. Like we can't get together on shit. Like we can't coalesce. We can't agree. Like even Provolone said something in the group chat. She said, "Why we can't like just have a meaningful conversation?" And I said to myself, like, because these people just aren't serious. Like the left is deeply unserious. The right is too, but at least the right have control. It's like these motherfuckers lose their shit if you say something they don't like. I just don't understand. You know, I'm not anti-conspiratorial. I ain't gonna say I'm lead left, but damn, man, like I'd rather coalesce with apolitical people, like maybe some conservatives that didn't know better, like them, or apolitical people, rather than coalesce with my allies. Because not all of them. It's some good allies on Twitter. It is. I'm not gonna say all of them are bad. I never say that. That's just dumb of me. Like who the fuck I got a right to say who bad who not? I don't really say these people are bad. I just say they're more reactive than proactive. So
we're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
And a lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people,
that's the same thing you said, Jane.
People in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right? So, look, I propose simple rules. The 3 rules of the internet. Rule number 1, when we disagree, we fight. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Now, rule number 2 is afterwards we must have a beer together, okay? And rule number 3 is, for God's sake, when we agree, let's unite. So, for the left,
that's corny.
We have too much division. We almost never unify. I don't mean with the right. I mean internally.
Yeah, that's true. But again, like my thing is, my thing is this. I think a lot of it is egos, man. It's egos why the left don't come together. And no, I'm not talking about vote sheep herd people to the Democratic Party level. I'm talking about the left that don't have a voice, but they're notable on Twitter. Like I'm talking about those people. Like we really should come together. Like I want things to change, bro. I ain't got time for people's drama, people's ways. Look, we all got issues. I got issues, but at the end of the day, oh man, y'all, man. But here we go.
The left loves to attack one another. I love you guys on the left. I love you. But every once in a while, when we get a yes.
See, Cenk talking about people that are attacking him. See, he's not talking about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like us disagreeing on something heavily, and then you cancel that person because they said things that you want them to say. I don't know what's up with people want you to do. Like people control what you like. I don't understand that. Like people control what you like with Luigi. Like left, for example. Like people are praising. Some people still think he didn't do it. Some people think he did it. Like okay, whatever. Like instead of ignoring people that are praising Luigi, they telling motherfuckers like, oh, you should not praise Luigi because he might not even did it. I'm like, yeah, he might not even did it. I don't know. Still, like, but again, it's like you can say at least the guy got everybody, no matter what political ideology you follow on, talking about fucking healthcare system. I mean, there's health insurance system. What the fuck? So yeah, that's the shit. Like, we all should come together with Luigi. You ain't got to do the praise stuff. I do it a little bit. I do it for more. I do it more for a camaraderie factor. But like you can say, hey, Luigi got us talking about health insurance, how corrupt it is. So let's make something out of it. Positive. That's what I'm saying.
When we agree, can we please unite? And the second thing we need.
And also, Cenk talking about people that are smearing him because he's talking to right wingers, like. But yeah, it's like, don't do it. At first, don't do it because they unfixable. You don't talk to these people, but now you're doing exactly the opposite of what you said. Oh boy, people just talk out of their asshole, man. That's what it is.
Need is for the old, I'm being honest, and on average, not everyone, of course, but for the older Democratic voters, please turn off your television sets. They're lying to you. They're tricking you. They're trying to get you to vote for corruption. They're trying to get you to vote for policies you don't even want. So if we can do those two things, then we'll be in great shape.
So I'm not sure how you'll feel about this, but there is a consensus, not a consensus, there is a belief with some people like Seth Moulton and others that some of the embrace of what we would call wokeism or whatever was a reason why Democrats had a less than desirable election outcome. Do you subscribe to that belief? How do you interpret that when some people say we need to kind of shed away some of the more new elements of the cultural implications of politics outside of economics, like the Seth Moulton belief that where he says the trans stuff hurt us?
Yeah, so look, guys, on that stuff, I've been having these debates internally with the left wing. And I explained yesterday, actually, on the Young Turks. Look, everybody's positions are in a different part of the left-right spectrum and on different policies. So I can name you policies where you say, well, that's pretty moderate, right? I can name you policies that you're not sure is left or right-wing, but that is definitely populist, right? But some of my policies might be called extreme left in America. So, for example, I'm massively in favor of gun control. You told them not to boo, but I knew they'd boo on that one.
They paused to their
Yes.
their respect. You were asking for it, Cenk.
Yeah, I did ask for it. So my point to my left-wing allies is, am I going to emphasize and insist and demand on my gun control policies when we're in the middle of a national election? No. Because I know those are not winning issues at this point. I've got more work to do to convince the American people before we get there. So if on trans issues or any other, or crime issues, etc., if you really believe in the most far left positions, as I do on gun control, for example, that's okay. But you've got to know what to emphasize and what not to emphasize. And so if you say, no, I'm going to die on every extreme hill, well, you will. Electorally, politically, you will die on that hill. And then you lose on all of your issues, because it's sometimes a binary game. Certainly elections are. So you got to know what to convince them.
Oh, I'm going to end it here because I got to get to another story with LC. But yeah, so basically you're saying is, use coded language. Because my thing is this, like, I'm not like fuck electoral politics at this point, but this is my last part of this. I'm gonna go. Cenk, my guy. You trying to pivot to the right wing. I guess you're trying to get the audience, but my guy, they're not coming on to your channel. They're not coming on to TYT, bro. Like, I mean, what's the point? Like, you doing this, you pissing off your friends, the people you used to work with. You pissing them off. You running them off because of that. And I guess you expect the right wing to come over to TYT and watch your stuff. I hate to tell you this, but you gonna lose more subscribers. Now, if Cenk came on there and played an even playing field, say, hey, both Democrats and Republicans are the problem, then, I wouldn't even talk about it. I'd be like, yeah, he just went on to a right-wing conference thing, whatever. But, so, yeah, that's Cenk Huger for y'all. And also, too, before I get to the next story, like the video, it helps us out in the algorithm. And I'll also too, I will put that link to Julia Doubleday's article from the Gauntlet in the link in the description below both YouTube and Rumble. So check those out. Okay, one more last story, then I'm gonna go. All right, guys. So last segment I want to talk about on this show, man. My God. Oh my goodness gracious, softball as you can get, man. Like, holy shit. Like, hey, the title of this stream is called Casual Friday. Yeah, they was being ultra casual, LC. Like, you got this going on, and instead of you asking her serious, critical question, I wouldn't say tough question, I say critical, you do the opposite. And I'm like, bro, like, what? Like, y'all supposed to be independent media, which you're not, but Sam C the bad at what's that woman name? Hey, I forgot that woman name. Lord have mercy. Like, see, you get AOC to come on here because you don't criticize her. See, I criticize AOC and we are relevant, so she's not coming on, but she could come on the Savvy Sav channel. Savvy Sav's ain't relevant. RBN not relevant. Like, of course she won't come on there because they criticize her. I wouldn't say they smear and criticize. That's a difference. So yeah, man. Let me play this. This is crazy.
Back, Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland on the Majority Report. Joining us now, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So I'm going to start off with let's talk about what's going on, obviously, right now. At any moment, you could be called to the floor for a vote. And there's some indication of what it may be. They're now talking about splitting it up into 3 different bills. But just give us your sense of what's going on here, because it feels like 5 days ago, nobody predicted there'd be an issue with this.
We were totally fine. Democrats and Republicans had come to a compromise, CR, just government funding bill. And it's actually funny. It kind of came down to literally maybe like a 3-hour window where the schedule in the House, there was 2 vote series. We're supposed to vote at 1:30 and then again vote at 4:30. And so they were going to put this government spending bill that everyone had agreed to on. There's some talk about putting it through at 1:30. Mike Johnson says, you know what, let's just do it at 4. And in that 3-hour window, Elon Musk tweeted. And it died.
Yeah, because, Elon is the president. President Elon Musk. Oh, God. Why is she laughing? He died. So, y'all, yeah, Casual Friday, man. Oh, God.
And then you have Trump threatening, and basically Trump threatened to primary any Republican that voted for a clean CR. And then Elon tweeted that he was threatening to primary anyone that voted for the compromise CR. And Republicans are in this moment where they don't know their daddy is right now. And so...
Well, all y'all daddies Elon Musk. Shit. Oh, God, man. Oh, God.
They are just running around like chickens with their head cut off. And so we're literally in this holding pattern because of this. And it's like this recursive loop that is just shut down the government literally out of nowhere because of a tweet. It's actually insane. It's actually insane.
I was a product of divorce, so I can understand what happens and mommy and daddy fight, and you don't know which side to land on. But putting that aside for a moment, one question I have that does not feel like it's going to be addressed whatsoever is the $20 billion for the IRS. Mm-hmm. This was in the last budget. It was a clawback by the Republicans. But if it's a continuing resolution, it could happen again, sort of as just sort of like, I guess, inertia. What is anybody talking about that at all?
Well, I think that this is the core problem that they're in right now, which is that, of course, they need Democratic votes to pass this thing. This conference cannot keep themselves together. And so they keep trying to, but they can't. They're too much at war with themselves. And so it is something that is a priority for us. And it's not something that I think has been left aside or forgotten. This is going to be a big battle, though. And it's not going to be the last time we see this come up. Right. Because the Trump tax cuts are expiring next year. And this is actually what this fight is actually all about. This is why Elon is involved in this right now, because he's not tweeting this out of nowhere. He's not coming at this out of nowhere. They are trying to lift the debt limit now because reauthorizing the Trump tax cuts next year are going to explode our federal debt. It's going to explode our deficit again. And they don't want.
I got a question though. Like, why did Joe Biden decide to keep the Trump tax cuts if, they talked about how detrimental it is to the working class, the dummies back 2020, but why you didn't reverse them? See what I'm saying? Like, both of these parties are the same. You hearing what the fuck she's saying? Like, like Elon is trying to, he wants to open up the spending limit because it's gonna. Oh boy, man, Elon Musk running things is just that's man. All you gotta say when you say the system is fucked, like just say Elon Musk running the show. That's all you gotta say. Oh my God.
Want to lift the debt limit then to do that. They want to lift it now. That's why
that'll draw too much attention to what their tax cuts are doing. In this way, if they split it up, it's less of a story.
And that's why Elon's getting involved. Net worth has, I believe it's almost doubled since the election. Or it's like, this is what was kind of being discussed a little bit among Democratic talkers. Like they're talking about changes to Elon's net worth since the election. He is trying to further explode his net worth. And he is trying to leverage everything from income from federal contracts to, reducing his own personal expenditures and reducing his taxes. And this is something that we are, this is what this is about for him. Trump has a different set of priorities for himself. He's trying to, line his own pockets and figure out his own political preservation in this moment. And sometimes those things are aligned and sometimes they're not. And I think right now we're in one of those friction points.
It's sort of the definition of an oligarchy where even though these guys aren't these, I mean, it is an oligarchy. It's a catastrophe.
Oh God. Ain't asking about why the rebel strike. Ain't asking about force to vote. Ain't asking about none of this shit, bro. It's just chill day. Let's just talk about Elon and Trump. Like, yeah, both of them want to do different things. Oh my God, bro. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. I ain't gonna watch all of it, but.
And even though Trump's not even in office yet, his like billionaire
mob
daddy,
enforcer, basically,
is like controlling whether the government will stay open or not. But let's leave this for a moment because this is an ongoing story. We're going to find out maybe how this is resolved at least for the next 3 weeks or 2 months. We'll find that out in a moment. But I want to turn to what's been going on this week in terms of your attempt to chair the government oversight committee.
Wow, no question, no, like I told y'all, no serious question. Just a committee seat. Why you didn't get that? Why Nancy Pelosi? She screwed you over of that committee seat.
And my daughter had a question that sort of dovetails into this, so I told her I would ask this question. She wants to know, and I think sort of these two questions sort of address that whole dynamic. One is if you feel abandoned by the Democratic Party, and how so, if you do, but also,
man, I can answer this question. AOC like when we talk about Trump is the establishment when he pretended to be a populist. Well, AOC pretended to be a fighter, and she decided to fall in line with the establishment Democrats. So yeah, like AOC wants to be Nancy Pelosi. That's all it boils down to, man. Like she wants to be a career politician, and eventually, she's gonna she's gonna be a millionaire because you follow Nancy Pelosi's footsteps. So what happened? Nancy Pelosi came in there advocating for universal health care, and look at her now. She's one of the most wealthiest members of Congress. LC wants that power too.
So she wants to know, how do you grapple with having to appeal to multiple different ideological groups within the Democratic Party and your constituency?
Yeah, well, two really good questions. The first one is that I don't really feel abandoned by the Democratic Party because,
of course,
my primary relationship that I care about the most is mass movement and mass movement politics. And part of my job and my role exists forever in this tension point.
Mass movement? Bitch, you broke up a railroad strike. Oh my God, bro. She's into mass movements, guys. That was that was the Justice Democrats were supposed to be. You're supposed to be a mass movement. You're supposed to stir up shit, but you just fell in line, for power.
Between
you went around fucking with the Israel situation because you want AIPAC to primary your ass either. So yeah, I don't forget shit, man. My brain is pretty good right now. It lasts. I don't forget shit.
Mass movements and everyday people and the establishment of the Democratic Party. And so that is always, like, as long as I exist as a person, I am going to be in this waypoint between these two forces. And what I'm always trying to do is open the windows of possibility for people in the Democratic Party. And so I don't feel abandoned because my job is not to try to gain personal acceptance. My job.
This woman lying. She knows she's lying. My job is not to gain personal acceptance. Okay, whatever you say. The evidence is clear. You want to become, hell, motherfuckers saying that you might run. People say you might run for president in 2028. Like, but you don't want to have, you want to have acceptance. Okay.
Job is to try to build power for the working class, and so.
Man, when you did that railroad strike, you said fuck the working class. Oh God.
I feel like you have to know when to select your battles and when to force the question. And I ran to win. I always run to win. I don't pick.
I thought you ran to fight for the people, but you that's different. Yeah, you won, but Winning comes below fighting. Like, you fight, then you say you're gonna be a one-term Congress. You said even if you're a one-term Congress person, you'll go down swinging. That's what you said. So you basically, like, that's crazy how she exposed herself. Like, I want to be accepted, but and I want to pretend like I care about the working class, but really I care about my own material gain and need. That's basically what she's saying. No, I want to be on the New Yorker magazine in my $3,000 suit, that's what it is about. Like, at the end of the day, or I want to give me a book on how I won, how I say I'm gonna fight for the people. Oh Lordy, I fought for the people by not forcing the vote for Medicare for all and breaking up a railroad strike because those workers just wanted more time off because they owned the rails for almost fucking 2 days straight. Oh Lord. And boy, I don't know how much I can take of this.
Hey. Fights that I think are losing from the jump, even if they are long shots. But I also felt like this was a win-win situation. And I felt like it was win-win because you win it in a literal sense. We're able to wield this seat. And I think I genuinely ran because I thought it was what was best for the party. And I think it was what was best for the country. And I think it was what was best for people. And that's why I did it.
No, it was best for you, not for the people. Like even your story, your background, your father was suspect. That right there just tell me all. And then you went to BU, which is a very expensive school. Like, you don't sound working class based on your background. Like, you did this for yourself, You did this for yourself, AOC. Because if you actually had a bone to fight, and a lot of people say, yeah, you protested at Nancy Pelosi's office, but I think that shit was like a PR stunt just to pretend like, hey, I do this one time, and Nancy Pelosi got you in the back room and said, you better not do that no more. I bet AOC said, oh, Nancy ain't gonna do it no more, Master Nancy. Mama Bear Nancy. Lord, no, I ain't gonna disrespect you. I want to be like you one day, Nancy. Oh, boy. That's what it is.
But I also think that it is clarifying. And sometimes when you force this question, it allows us to take measurements about where we are at. And not in a binary perspective, not just in a binary perspective either. It's not just that we won or that we lost. But even in losing, I don't think anybody in the party thought that it would be this close at the start. This is a race among, by definition, Democratic insiders, only among other members of Congress. And this is typically an environment where people like us get crushed. And the fact that it was this close, the fact that some of the most, established and powerful elements of the party had to mobilize to make, to make this result, happen, that we, people were hot on their heels, I think is a very good sign for us. And so that's the first question, which leads to the second question, right. Is that in order for us to win, we need to win along several dimensions. And we need
we got to win in steps. Okay, win here. First step is, get corrupted. Second step is accept your corruption. Third step is pretend like, go to the Amazon picket line and hold up a sign and cheer and, just put on, hire a camera crew to come and film your ass because, we ain't stupid. Like, people do at PR stunts, like, this shit's planned. And like you woke up and actually had a fighting bone in your body. Say, oh, you know what? These Amazon workers are getting fucking screwed. No, you just did it to just keep the presumption of your progressivism. Oh my God. And they asking these stupid ass questions, bro. Okay, the first question about the fucking government shutdown, which is no longer an issue, but like this is from Friday, so
to know how to bring people together and cleave people together in kind of different dimensions in addition to an ideological one. If it's forever just progressives versus the establishment, and that's the only frame, then we are outnumbered. But if we can take that, preserve it, we're not abandoning it, but you add generational dimensions, you add class dimensions, you add some of these other things. This is an exercise in coalition building while preserving the integrity of our positions. And I think this was one of our first big swings at it. And I think as far as that goes, there was a lot of really interesting successes in that. This was not.
So that you mean if we were to look at the votes that you got maybe on the steering committee, and if we were to look at the votes that you got on the floor, we would see you could have obviously progressives voted for you, but then maybe there are younger people who have a different idea of what partisanship looks like. I mean, I think that is a big part of the generational changes, and there may be also some people who run to the progressive positions on economics, but maybe not on immigration, or maybe not on picket, essentially. Or because frankly, there are votes that I know that my daughter and I have talked about, and that we've talked about here, that you've taken that we're not excited about, to say the least. The anti-Semitism one in the most recent. But this is part, or you tell me, is this part of like the idea of there are certain battles where you think are maybe less consequential in the long term?
Nah, I might be, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. I know I'm not wrong, but I'm just saying, like, playing devil's advocate here, like you. Well, fuck you. Now I'm not part of the Democratic Party, but you wasn't put there, LC, to fight for a committee seat. You know that, right? Like, how the fuck you went for fighting for Medicare for all, fighting for this other stuff, Green New Deal or whatever, to now I want a committee seat? Like, yeah. You talking about power hungry? That's what it is.
That you will sacrifice to build these coalitions for the long term.
I think that we are presently in a moment where we have to be really ruthless about what battles we pick, and we cannot pick all of them. And I think we have to be realistic about the political moment that we are in. There are moments where we have the juice to be bullish, and then there are moments where we need to like really strengthen foundationally and preserve.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Damn. You gotta strengthen foundationally. What the fuck? God damn, boy.
A tough year for us. And it's not just about big money. It's about, like, organizationally on the left, we are in a challenging time. Just everything that has gone on over the last year, there's a genocide.
Oh, that woman, Emma Vigeland. Oh yeah, I forgot her damn name.
That is happening, and this is rightfully been
a genocide that was perpetrated by continued on by your fucking party. Like, they could, like, your president LC couldn't still end it now if he wanted to, but apparently he don't care. He don't give a fuck, so yeah.
Focus of so much organizing. And it's also caused a lot of not just internal, I think, questioning, assessment, how we do things on the left, but it's also been a moment where we've had tons of dark money. Not just, yes, APAC, also crypto, also Wall Street, all these folks that are constantly waiting to pick us off. And so, I think that for this purpose, when we make sure that we fight like hell on the material things, like, I vote consistently on withholding weapons, offensive, withholding funding for offensive weapons.
What about you withhold your vote for Medicare for all back in 2021, LC? What happened to that? Like that's what you're supposed to do. But no, like offensive weapons like that's weak sauce. Like something major, like when it comes to healthcare, like people don't have healthcare, and a beginning of a pandemic. We were in the beginning of a pandemic where, according to a study, 300,000 people will still be alive if everybody was covered with health insurance. Medicare for all, I mean. Like, but, I hold my line for no offensive weapons. That's more important than, than me going to the doctor to get a yearly checkup, or getting a major or minor procedure done. So, yeah, this
when it
clown
comes
shit.
To some of
Ultra
the
clown.
finer, second and third degree connections on condemning anti-Semitism, if IHRA came explicitly to the floor, I would not vote to ratify it. But I think that we need to be very strategic. We cannot swing at every single pitch because we have to build. And so I do think, for example, internally, one of my big cases.
Macro, internally, externally. What the fuck all this shit mean though? Like, what all this shit means? Like, I just don't like. I'm not. I don't understand. Like, what are we doing here?
About in gaining support. And what is interesting is that the support that we got in this, it was not just like the Progressive Caucus plus the Hispanic Caucus, which were the two caucuses that endorsed me in this fight. We had swing district Democrats that supported me in this. We had New Dems, which is a
Pat Ryan, I think, was one of the most successful the swing, sort of purple districts, as it were, and he
margin of any House Democrat. And so one of the things the case that I was making to the caucus is that I can message on an economically populist message, and that is my intention. Of course, we are going to fight on civil rights. We're going to fight on human dignity. We're not going to let Democrats abandon our trans community. We're not going to allow Democrats to try.
Already banned. They ban all communities. The fuck? It don't matter what community you're in. Like, my thing is, the Democratic Party have abandoned the working class since it's united. Like, I can remember that far back. But goddamn, like, yeah, the trans people too. Yeah, they don't give a fuck about trans people, even though they have LGBTQ plus flags in their bios. The Dem dummies do, like, and Black Lives Matter fists in the air, like, just symbolism, identity politics. That's all the Democrats talk about. And Republicans, culture war bullshit. So yeah, both sides are playing.
Skittish on civil and human rights issues. But the selling point, the most alluring point to bring the party together and to bring them over, we have to make a case of persuasion, which is that there is no other place where we are seeing promise to win back the working class, to win back Latinos, to win back young people than right here. And the message that
they don't care about winning back working class or Latinos or young people. LC, you know this. Come on, LC. I know you're not. You went to college. I'm pretty sure you're smarter than me. You know better. You just want to play dumb because this is Sam Cedar and he ain't gonna give you the hard questions. Like, you know good and damn well the Democratic Party do not give a shit about working class. Like, it's just like the Republicans, man. Like, we just cogs in the system. Like, all the Democrats care about is, the elites. Like, they serve their needs well. Like, keeping Trump tax cuts, keeping the regulation, even though, people say Democrats care about the environment. No, they don't. Like, if they cared about the environment, why the fuck Joe Biden signed more drilling permits than Donald Trump? Like, they something wrong with that. You think Donald Trump was signing drilling projects all over the goddamn place, but it was Joe Biden that signed more than Trump, including that big one in Alaska called the Willow Project. Like, oh God, Willow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
that we can send as a party that has been really kind of cemented in this election by Trump, that Democrats are the party of the elite, which bore out in an electorate in terms of what got hemorrhaged. That the way that we counter that is a populist economic message, which in a progressive frame has the benefit of a multiracial democracy, and that is attenuated with that.
Right. And part of why, I was excited about the prospect of you winning that position to be a top Democrat on oversight was because of the fact that you could communicate that kind of thing with a really large megaphone. And I think part of maybe I saw what you did with your followers after the election, some of the voters who voted for you and Trump. Mm-hmm. And, Trump's style of tweeting or truthing or whatever, he's lying all the time, but it at least simulates a level of responsiveness to the public. Yes. So my question is just do you think that the Democrats' message on Trump's threat to democracy was undercut by the fact that an overwhelming number of Americans thought that Biden was too old to run for a second term, and yet there was no real primary process anyway? So I guess in other words, do you think that the Democrats need to build back more trust and legitimacy with their base, democratic legitimacy, by showing more responsiveness?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a big part of what our case was as well. I think it's interesting because a lot of people kind of talk about the gerontocracy of the Democratic Party and the way that a lot of these decisions are decided by seniority. And all of those things are true. But what is also attenuated with that is the fact that it is really hard for a lot of, I think, Democrats to wrap their head around the current media environment that we are in. And there's still this really big attachment to the idea that CNN, MSNBC, the op-ed, pages of the New York Times are where swing voters are and where everyday people are. And as we saw from the election, people who, if you ascribe to that kind of a media diet, you are overwhelmingly supporting Democrats. But there has for a very long, and this was actually part of what part of what I was trying to offer the party is also part of what I think had cut against me in this race, which is that there's this idea that having this, not among all Democrats, but I think among more of the old guard, that having that kind of resonance and responsiveness is gauche and lowbrow and unsophisticated. And it's attention seeking. Like the fact that a person has attention means that they are attention seeking, as opposed.
I mean, that was you, AOC. I was looking at my phone, guys. That's what you turn into. You turn into an attention seeker. My thing is, if you want an attention seeker, why would you do an op-ed? I mean, not op-ed, a photo op. Go down there to, I guess, JFK 8 or something. That's an Amazon warehouse, and do that photo op. And you should have seen the comments on the bottom underneath that post. People smearing AOC. Like, people even know your grifts. So what?
To the fact that they are talking to people. And so I feel okay because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep doing that. I am going to continue to do that. I wanted to do it at the behest of not just like the party for the sake of the party, but because we are on the precipice of a fascist administration coming in.
Right. And your level of
I'm gonna end it right there. Like this softball interview is ridiculous. I mean, ALC, like you just like like only people that support you is the celebrity worshippers, because you have that celebrity with you, like, oh, you the head of the squad, and you you know, but it's man. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna end it right there. ALC is unserious, another unserious motherfucker. So yeah, y'all, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. ATP Live. Be sure to give this a like the video, and also to support Trina. She needs our help. Her cash app is KBrandstein4. So, all right, guys, that's the end of ATP Live. I'm Andre Morton signing out. Have a good one.